Hello, gorgeous souls. It's Dina, and welcome to another beautiful episode all about overcoming your limiting beliefs around money. First, let's start out by understanding what money is. So, I want you to take a minute here and complete this sentence. Money is ... And for me, if you ask me this question, I'll say that money is energy. Just like love and abundance, money is also energy. And the reason we need to overcome our limiting beliefs around money is so we can enhance our experiences here on earth. And that is why it's become super important to overcome these limiting beliefs around money. Now let's look at some common limiting beliefs around money. Before we begin, I highly recommend you get a piece of paper and a pen and write down if these limiting beliefs that I'm going to discuss today pertain to you. So make 2 columns in this piece of paper. One on the right hand side could be, or on the left hand side could be limiting beliefs, and then on the right hand side you want to come up with an abundant belief. So let's look at some common ones that I have a lot of my clients experience around money, and they're very common. These are limiting beliefs that a lot of you might have had experienced because of your exposure to your parents, caregivers, teachers, loved ones. You could have gotten them from any one of the following, right? And so now let's look at some limiting beliefs you could have. The first one I want to mention is that rich people are bad in some way. So write that out right now on the left hand side of that sheet of paper, and write down rich people are bad in some way. So you might have had this belief that rich people are greedy, maybe selfish, cheaters, or any of those sort of words that you might have heard growing up. Or you might have also heard that money is the root of all evil, and that wealth is something that only the rich people have because they're bad or they're doing something bad to have access to that money. Now, this limiting belief is something that you need to release and let go of, because this is going to stop you from accumulating or experiencing wealth yourself, because you're going to be believing these things that rich people are bad in some way, and that is why you're preventing yourself from becoming rich. So on the right hand side, you want to write a more abundant belief. So you can say something like, it's good to be rich. Rich people always contribute to the world in so many ways. Perfect. Now let's look at the second limiting belief that you might have, is that your earning capacity is limited. So you might have this limiting belief that the lack of a degree or the right connection places a ceiling on your earning potential. So you wish and hope that you had that degree or the right connection, and that is why your earning capacity is limited. And I now want you to come up with a more abundant belief on the right hand side. So come up with something that you think would be an abundant belief for that. So something like, my earning capacity is limitless, is infinite. Something like that you want to come up with. Now let's move on to the third limiting belief that you might have, and that is, making a lot of money requires a lot of risk and time. Now, do you believe that making a lot of money will require too much time away from your family, or it's going to force you to risk everything you already have? Because that is just a limiting belief that's stopping you from making more money. So have a more abundant belief, something like, making a lot of money is easy. Making a lot of money does not require a lot of time. Making a lot of money is effortless. Something like that. You want to come up with a more abundant belief every time you have this negative limiting belief. The fourth belief you might have is that I'm not good with money. Now, this is a very common one. This is a lot of my clients' experiences, and they always keep saying, but I'm not good with money. I don't even know how to save it or invest it. And this is a limiting belief because we can all learn to be good with money. Nobody is born with a manual telling them or teaching them how to manage their money. We all learn. And sometimes we get these limiting beliefs from our parents who are probably not good at managing their own money, and we feel like we are not good at managing money because there's fear, there's underlying fear. And I had that too, because growing up, my parents had a lot of money, and then later on, during my late teenage years, they did not have enough. And I always felt like, well, they never could manage the money they had, so maybe I'm not good with managing money. And so you want to write a more abundant belief on the right hand side, something like, I am super good with managing my money. Something very abundant and expansive. Now let's look at the fifth limiting belief that you might have, and that is money is not that important. It's only love or health that is important. And I always ask my clients this question: why can't you have both? Why can't you have both money and health and money and love? You don't have to choose. Money is an enhancer. It's like an energy that enhances your experiences. So I would want to have it with love. I would want to have it with my health. Why would I choose one over the other? So now you want to come up with a more abundant belief around that. And I think the most abundant belief you can come up is that I can have both money and love. I can have everything my heart desires. I think that is a very, very expansive and abundant belief. Now let's look at the sixth limiting belief that you might have. And this one is a common one too, although I haven't heard it for a while now, but I just wanted to include it in this podcast episode. And that is that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And this is a really big excuse, because you want to remain poor. You don't want to put in the work and the effort. So you just say, well, the rich always get richer and the poor get poorer. So you're kind of putting yourself down and saying to yourself that no matter what you do, we are always going to be poor, And so you're kind of giving up responsibility that you have that power in you to really make yourself more richer and more abundant. So you want to write a more abundant belief around that, and you can say that the rich always get richer and the poor can also get richer, something like that. Maybe, I'm not quite sure, but something that feels a lot more abundant around this limiting belief. And these are just 6 examples. I'm sure there's others that I haven't discussed, or there might be other beliefs around money that you have. So I simply want you to keep writing that on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, write a more abundant belief. And then every time you have this limiting belief pop up in your mind, or when you're speaking to someone, or when you're thinking, if it pops up, I want you to start becoming aware of it. And remember your abundant belief. You want to quickly delete that limiting belief and quickly choose the more abundant belief, and simply say the sentence or that word all over again in your mind or out loud, and repeat that abundant belief. So you can also always say, I delete and I choose again, and then say your abundant belief instead of the limiting belief. And I guarantee you're going to start attracting so much money and abundance in your life, because this way, this replacing your limiting belief with a more abundant belief has helped me tremendously to get rid of that one limiting belief that I had around money. And I'm super good with money now. I can manage my money very beautifully. I invest it. I have a savings account. I have a checkings account. So everything just was balanced when I got rid of that limiting belief, because I knew that was my parent, not me. I'm a different person and I can handle my money very well. And I took courses on that. I read books about that. And now I know I can invest my money more beautifully. So these are just limiting beliefs. Guys, you can overcome these limiting beliefs. You don't have to have these limiting beliefs stuck for the rest of your life with you. You can get rid of them, you can release them, and you can replace them with a more abundant belief. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope this was a helpful episode for you around releasing and overcoming your limiting money beliefs. Thank you so much.
If you absolutely loved today's episode, I would love for you to connect with me on Instagram at Sacred Heart Nurse or visit my website, sacredheartnurse.com. I also teach spiritual gift activations in my free Facebook group, so don't forget to check out the link in the episode notes section for this particular episode. I'm looking forward to connecting with all of you. So much love and light. Thank you so much.